And then you look to now, that was in what, 1920, you know what I mean? Or whatever the hell it
Yeah,
was. And then it just evolved. And you had, like, you look at the first ever Daytona 500 in 59, like, just in that time span alone, like, it's just crazy how much it's grown. Then from
it is.
1960 to now, it's just incredible. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah. Back then, you could actually have like a regular car that you went to the dealership with, that you went and bought at the dealership, go to the track and race the freaking thing.
Yeah,
Nowadays, if you don't have millions of dollars, forget it. You know what I mean?
that's
It's
exactly it.
it's grown so much. It's such a it's a business now. It's not even
Right.
back then. It was just a hobby for guys to do, and now it's freaking huge. It's crazy
Yeah.
to think that Richard Petty was back racing back then, and he's still involved with the sport now. Which you must be happy that Jimmy Johnson's coming back to the team. I'm guessing.
Yeah, which I am because the biggest thing I think that Jimmy brings to Petty GMS is not only does it add for more, that they have more capital, which that's the biggest thing, and I think Petty GMS needed that. Everybody thought when Petty merged, became Petty GMS this past season, everybody thought it was going to be, oh my God, they're going to be top contenders now because now they're going to spend. They're actually going to have money to spend. They're going to throw money into their equipment, which they did. In my opinion, they made an improvement. The
Yeah,
car got less. There was less difference in the car between different teams. The competition was a little narrower. Plus, they got better as a team. So it was a combination of those two things. Jimmy Johnson jumping in, which I just read today, he's running 8 to 10 races next year in a non-charter car for Petty.
wow.
So I don't know, dude. I think Jimmy bringing capital, he's not afraid to spend the money. He's going to run some races himself. I think it's not only good for Petty GMS, but it's also good for NASCAR, I think. And I think it's going to bring a lot of maybe these fans in the past few years that have kind of been dying out. I think seeing Petty, I still refer to them for the most part as Petty Enterprises. I mean, come on, but it's going
Yeah,
to be a good thing to see them. A lot of people are going to jump back in and root for them. You have Jimmy, you have Noah, you have Eric Jones, which I think Eric Jones is very underrated. So that's what I think about the Jimmy move. I don't know about you, but I
yeah.
think it's a
No,
good move.
I think it's a smart move. I mean, think about it. A lot of these owners, you got Penske, Hendrick, Roush, uh, Petty. These guys are all in their 70s, 80s years old. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's good that you got some younger blood buying into the teams and hopefully keep them alive.
yeah.
I even heard that Hendrick may let Jimmy have the 48 back to run the 48 for
What do you think of that though?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, granted, the 48's affiliated with Hendrick, but uh, you know, I don't know. I think I think it's pretty neat that he's going to give it to Jimmy and let Jimmy run it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you got to let Alex Bowman just keep it. I mean, come on. Alex Bowman went in a 3-year span, dude. You're gonna tell me he went from the 88, the very next year goes to the 48, and now you're gonna be like, sorry, Bowman, you got to either go back in the 88 or the 25, whatever the fuck other car. Come on, Donnie.
Maybe they'll.
Come
Yeah,
on.
they can't. Yeah, they should. Maybe they'll break out the 25 again, like
Yeah,
old times.
yeah.
I don't know.
And I
I
don't
don't know
even
what they
think Ty
plan on doing.
Gibbs. I don't even think I'm gonna throw a shot at you. Okay. I don't even think. Well, you probably don't care anymore, but I don't even think Ty Gibbs is good enough to be able to get thrown into the 18 car like they're all saying he's going to. They shouldn't even let him use the 18 car at all. That's a
He's
slap in the face. That's a slap in the face to your boy Kyle.
it is, and you know what? It's maybe it's what Kyle needed because Kyle's been a little off the last few years, so maybe he needed a little shot in the arm,
Yeah.
and I think this is the motivation he needed. I don't think Ty Gibbs is really going to do much next year because you,
No
you
way.
never really see any rookies come in and
Yeah.
like start dominating right away. You know what I
No.
mean?
No. He'll
Austin
pull off.
Cindric had a decent
That's it.
decent year, but really he only won Daytona because it's
Yeah.
Daytona. It's a restricted plate track. Anybody could
Yeah.
win it. A monkey could win Daytona. But you know, the rest of the year he was just kind of riding around. He wasn't doing
Yeah.
much, and he's on a good team. So it's tough. Even Noah is going to an okay team. I think he'll do better than Ty Dillon's doing.
Oh,
But
1,000%. 1,000%.
yeah, yeah, Ty
No
Dillon
questions
was
asked.
terrible.
Oh, yeah.
I always wonder to myself, why is Ty Dillon not teammates with his brother on RCR? And I think this year explained why. He sucks. He doesn't belong out there.
Well, and you know what's funny is that you say that. I will make this note about Ty Dillon is how sad is it when we say Ty Dillon sucks? You look at him this year, he sucks. And this was probably one of the best years he's had in his last fucking 4 chances in the Cup Series. You know what I mean? So how bad do you have to be that you just put out literally one of your best seasons of your career, and we're still like, yeah, this dude is trash. That's bad, dude. That's bad.
Yeah, he must be like the black sheep of that family. Why? Why?
And I don't know
Did
why, because Austin Dillon's just as bad. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Austin Dillon's not good either, but Austin Dillon, I think, is better than Ty.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I don't know. Ty, in Ty's defense, he's never really been on a good team. But if you look at how he did this year compared to Eric Jones, Jones was outrunning him every race, and they're on the same team. Maybe Jones has a better car. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's hard to say.
Dillon was pretty good in the truck series, though, running the 3 truck.
Yeah, he was good in the trucks. He did pretty well in Xfinity too. Yeah. When you make that jump from Xfinity to Cup, man, that's a huge jump.
Ball game.
Yeah, you're racing with the best of the best, best teams, best drivers. You're not going to dominate like that. So I don't know. I'm already looking forward to next year. I know we just kind of finished off this year, but I'm already pumped for the Clash. I saw today on the internet. I think it's like 100 or 99 days to the Daytona 500. So
these are the most. To be honest, probably in this next decade. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Decade. Jesus Christ. These next.
Have another drink. Have another shot.
Yeah. It's my birthday today, so excuse me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. God. Yeah, you're 30 now. Your brain's starting to go,
This next 100 days, right? And tell me if you can tell me if you disagree. These next 100 days are probably the most important 100 days before the Daytona, probably in NASCAR, for NASCAR. That's probably since the 90s. This is probably the most.
Why do you say that? Because of all the safety issues that they got to fix?
1,000%. Absolute 1,000%. They had brake problems almost every week, power steering problems almost every week. The biggest thing is the injuries. You had
fires,
2 or 3 fires. There was rubber builds up so much on the exhaust manifolds that shit just ignites. We saw it with Brad Keselowski at Phoenix. This is the most we'll say just in the time that I've probably been watching NASCAR, at least in the past 20, 30 years, this is the most important offseason for competition, for the sport as a whole, and for the fans. Bringing fans in. If you want to keep NASCAR popular, right now is the time. And if they don't make changes to this car, if they don't, which I think they still, if they wanted to, they could still do a few things to bring the competition maybe a little bit closer, but they absolutely need to make these cars more safe, because if not, people are going to get turned away. That's just fact.
Yeah. I mean, if I was a driver, I'd be scared going to a track like Daytona with all the concussions. I mean, you see Kurt Busch's wreck. That wasn't even a bad wreck. And he ended up with a concussion done for his career, pretty much.
Yeah.
Partial because he's older, but still, I mean, that wasn't a hard hit. Bowman's wasn't really even that bad.
That's that monkey winning the Daytona 500.
Exactly. That's him. That's the guy. That's Austin Cindric right there. Real quick, while I got the podium here, I see Stevie Mack. He posted a comment, so just want to say hi to Stevie Mack. Glad you're tuning in, and Appreciate you tuning
Whoa,
in.
he shouted me out in the comment too. Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stevie Mac,
Oh
my
yeah.
man.
Stevie Mac is he tunes in every week. He's on the ball. And he's not even a racing fan, so I give him credit
Oh,
for
really?
tuning in and
Well, you know
listen
what
to
we're
us
gonna
ramble
do?
over here.
You know what me and you are gonna do? We're gonna do the same thing
What's
we did
that?
to Blaze because, and Stevie, if you're still listening, listen to this, and you can ask Blaze. If Blaze wants to pop in and he wants to tell you that I ain't lying, he can come in and tell you. He had on the Blaze and Miss Tammy show the other night, right? Wednesday night.
Yeah.
He came on and he asked. I don't know if you've tuned in. I watch it every week, and it's hilarious. They just literally have me rolling. But anyways, Blaze looked
I'm
over
gonna
at
have
Miss.
to.
Oh, it's hilarious. Blaze looked
Yeah.
over at Miss Tammy and said, "Miss Tammy, what did I do on Sunday? I watched the race, didn't I? You know, I've never watched a Cup Series race." Or he said something along those lines, and I was there glued, just glued, watching this. You know, and championship. What a race! There he is, Blaze. Tell him I'm not lying. Blaze, can you hear me?
I don't think we can hear Blaze.
Yeah, we can't hear Blaze. But this is Blaze, guys. For a lot of you guys that tune in, you don't get to see the man behind the screen that puts in all the hard work, getting all these things up, dealing with us, dealing with some of our stupid shit, going over time. And
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Blaze.
Yeah.
Tell him I'm not lying, Blaze.
Yeah.
No, you're not lying, kid. You're absolutely not lying. Thanks for having me jump in real quick. Yeah, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, flipping through the channels or whatever and stuff like that, you see the race or whatever. But to sit down to actually watch it, no. But that day I sat down, I watched it, and I'm trying to pay attention to everything, and I'm actually writing stuff down. So when I get a chance, I can ask Justin, what does this mean? Like trying to teach somebody football. How come that's offsides? Oh, well, because of this,
Right.
But yeah, this show has done that to a couple of people already. So yeah, that's awesome.
Well,
Thanks, Justin.
while you're in Blaze, I'll ask you this: as somebody who doesn't watch much NASCAR, you're starting to get into a little bit now. As a newfound fan, which we're gonna have a lot of those coming up this next season. As a newfound fan, was there anything when you watched that you think NASCAR could do better to get people attracted to it?
You just got to sit down and watch it.
Yeah. You got to watch. You got to pay attention. They
Yeah,
throw a lot
well,
of information
you got to sit down and watch it. You got to take the time. There's a million and one times. Like I said, I could be out somewhere at the bar having a beer or whatever on Sunday, and it's on. You look at it a little bit, and you're more worried about your wings because you're not a fan. You know what I'm saying? But if you sit down, if you sit down and give it a shot, a half hour or whatever, it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's pretty
That's all
cool.
it takes.
I'll tell you this, Blaze. If you are starting to become a fan watching it on TV, if you ever get the opportunity to actually go to a race, even if it's Seekonk Speedway, Loudon for the NASCAR race, I think you'd become even more of a fan.
Live is always a different experience. I agree with that 100%. And that's definitely going to get done because FFN Radio Network is going to have at least a couple of live shows of the side draft up at Seekonk Speedway. So we're looking forward to that, man. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's going to be.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Awesome. Everybody, round of applause for Blaze, man. It's the man that puts all the work in. Yeah. So that's another thing too, Donnie, that I wanted to let you know is actually between Blaze and I, we've been in contact with Seekonk Speedway. They're obviously, it's the off season, so they're kind of halting a bunch of stuff now. But we've been emailing back and forth and all that stuff about, trying to help each other out with as far as like getting this show kind of headed more in the right direction, which I think would help huge. And then also we promoting the events that they put on, all of their spectator drag events, their 4th of July events, all that kind of stuff. So I'm hoping that when the season starts and we get back together, that we can do shows there. We can do even like which since I know you like Michael Waltrip so much, right? What do you think of this, Donnie? What do you think of this? Me, you, and Blaze. Okay, we go to Seekonk Speedway. We go to Seekonk Speedway, okay? Headsets and microphones like Mikey Waltrip does down pit road. And we just come in, and Blaze can just follow us around and bounce the camera back and forth. And we just, what'd be funny is if we both start on opposite ends. And we just
hell yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan, bro.
Right?
You know what I mean? That's the plan. I'm telling you, people, this is only the beginning of this show. You know what I mean? Same thing. If I could, real quick, Justin, the Neutral Corner. Same thing with the Neutral Corner. I mean, November 19th, we're going to be down at the PAL live, watching, live, boom, right there, watching those fights.
That's not a show to miss either.
You know what I mean? So, listen, tell your friends.
Where is Jerry tonight? Usually Jerry's chiming in.
Jerry is at a fundraiser.
Okay.
Jerry is at a fundraiser for one of the guests that we have on the show, Mikey Gudrow. And they're having a fundraiser so Mikey can raise some money to go to a couple of fights in another state and things like that. So
nice. Yeah, usually
Jerry's out there, representing, taking the wife out. And, for me, I know Jerry, he's mentioned FFN Radio Network a few times and talked about the Neutral Corner and stuff. So,
Of course he does. He's a good promoter.
Yeah, he is.
But guys, what I want to know, okay? What I want to know is like, I'm an underdog guy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so if I probably ever got a favorite in NASCAR, definitely going to be an underdog.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a pink hat. I mean, I can certainly look up the top 5 best drivers in NASCAR for the past, 5 years or whatever, something like that. And say, oh man, I like that guy because he won a lot of races. I will truly sit down and watch NASCAR. You know what I mean? Get the feel for it and pick who I think that, you know what I mean? They can do some justice that Justin allows me to come on. I can punk you guys off and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Blaze, I'm telling you, there's a few drivers that fall into that category. So you'll have some good pickings for some underdog drivers.
Great. I'm actually excited about it. I can't wait to come back in the summer and tell you guys what it's like.
I usually, I know you're still listening, Blaze, but I usually like to try to pick drivers that I like, not so much on driving style as well as personality. I like a driver with a personality, and I think that's part of the reason I'm not.
Can't wait to pick this apart.
That's why I'm not a big fan of Chase Elliott. He's like a robot, man. The guy, every interview is the same interview. He's afraid to make any comment out of line because probably worried about losing Napa or Hooters or one of his sponsors. God forbid he actually speaks.
I apologize. You guys got me all into this shit all of a sudden. So the guy you're talking about, Donnie, is he like Mac Jones? He gets up there in his interview and he's like an Opie Taylor. It's like, everything's like he's standing there stiff of board and he's just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like one of the. It's like, one of the favorite things I used to like my mom making me was Campbell's soup, and then before you know it, Campbell's soup is on his car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that,
Before
I got you, Donnie. I got you.
About Chase Elliott, okay? Danielle, please, if you are watching, tell me what you told me the other day in the comments, what you thought about Chase Elliott, please. Because Danielle said something about Chase Elliott the other day that's going to shut all you guys up. I don't care if he's a robot. I don't care about none of this trash talk you guys have to say. So if Danielle's listening, tell me what you said about Chase Elliott.
Can't wait to hear what she said.
When he talked about his demeanor and how he's so calm, cool, collected. So
go for it,
Wait
Danielle.
for that message. Wait for that comment.
And Jess, if it's okay with you, I'll pop in and out here and there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Do your thing. Trust me. More than welcome. But before you talk about why you keep going on about why you picked Rowdy Bush. Come on. The dude from day one has been nothing but a baby. A big baby.
He's not a baby. He's competitive and he wants to win. He doesn't care about he's making a big money contract through Gibbs, which I'm sure he cares, but he doesn't care. I mean, if he wanted to ride around and finish top 10 every week, he probably could, but he doesn't want to. He wants to win races. He wants to make a name for himself, win championships. Screw this shit. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, exactly. He's the man. He's one of the best talents out there. I know it hasn't shown lately. I think he took a step back when they really did away with the practices and the quality, like, during COVID. I think that really hurt him because I think he's the type of driver where he has to drive the car, make changes, and I think that's when him and Harvick kind of fell off. I think those guys are like seat of the pants type drivers where they got to feel the car out, make a change, and then now they got 20-minute practices. And then that's pretty much it. You got to race it how you got it, and there's only so many changes you can make during the race. So, I think that kind of hurt him a little bit the last couple of years.
Yeah,
But
he's just a big baby, dude. He is one of the best. He is. I mean, when did he start racing? 04 or something like that, right? 03, 04 in a Cup Series, right? Something like that. And he's been, since then, the last 20 years, he's been, if not the best, he's top 2, top 3 talents that's raced in a Cup Series in that span.
I think I might like him because maybe I'm a baby, but I think I like him because I see the way he reacts when he loses races, and it reminds me of myself. So I guess that's kind of why I root for him. I like his attitude. I like the way, I don't know, just reminds me of me a little bit. Him and Kurt both. It's funny. Sometimes I watch their videos and I'm like, wow, sounds like me in the car where they're dropping F-bombs and complaining about this, complaining about that. But they just want to win,
Yeah. I mean, because you and them, you guys had like very similar racing careers, right?
Well, I haven't.
I'm sorry.
The main difference
they sound just like me.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry.
They do sound just like me.
I'm sorry.
It's
little
funny.
shots. Pew, pew.
Hey, I don't mind. I'd rather see that. You know what I mean? I like seeing someone with passion. I don't like seeing guys they crash out and it's just, all right, well, I want to thank my sponsors and hey, we'll fight them again next week. It's like, all right, I could say that too. Anybody could have made that anybody could have done that interview,
Yeah.
So
see, there it is.
Blaze,
it came in. You see it? What does it say, Donnie?
She wants Chase Elliott to date your daughter.
Oh, I said Chase Elliott sounds like someone I'd want to date my daughter. That's Chase Elliott for you. And then the next comment, cool, calm, cool, respectful, and good at what he does.
That's the thing.
Any better than that.
He's a phony. He's not respectful, and he's not calm and cool. And I'm going to find videos to prove it. Chase Elliott's a madman out there, too. How about when he...
No, he isn't. Stop. Come on.
How calm and cool was he when Larson hit him in California and he was dropping F-bombs?
It's his
we have to
teammate.
pull that video up.
His teammate drove him into the wall.
Why did he get upset? I thought he's calm and cool. I thought he doesn't get upset. I thought he's respectful. He's dropping F-bombs left and right.
Donnie, don't make me shut off your mic, Donnie.
Hey,
foolish
Chase Elliott is jealous. I'm going to tell you why. He was the top tier driver at Hendrick, and then Larson showed up. And that's the end of the story. He was the top tier driver, and then Larson showed up. Done. He realized I'm not the most talented driver here anymore, and that pissed him off. I think he likes the fact that he was was him, Jimmy, who was in the twilight of his career, William Byron, who was an iRacer, and Bowman. Bowman's only there because Dale Jr. put him there. Dale Jr. said, I want Alex Bowman in that car, and that's why he's there.
I don't think you can talk shit about Chase Elliott losing his cool when you're a Rowdy Busch fan. I don't think that makes sense.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. All I'm saying is he's a phony. He's like Mr. Red. You remember Carl Edwards? Mr. Red? He'd be all like friendly in front of the camera and I want to thank Subway and this and that. He was a nut job too.
I hated Carl Edwards.
Yeah, he was a phony.
I was hoping somebody would just spear him every time he tried doing that fucking stupid backflip, dumb bullshit. Like, come on, dude. What are you trying to do? Fucking backflip? Like there was a couple races. I think it happened like 3 or 4 years in a row. Both races at which track was it that him and Jimmy battled a lot, like in a 2-3 year span, and it wasn't Atlanta, maybe it was Texas. But anyways, they battled like 3-4 years in a row, and
Yeah.
and bumping, rubbing his raisin like the real deal, you know. And at the time, I was a Jimmy fan. You know what I mean? I was a Jimmy Junior. You know, so I had a few guys I rooted for, but man, I would just hope that every time that he won a race and he stands up on a car and he does a stupid little thing like this before he does his backflip, that somebody on the fucking 48 team would just fucking drop him. Just run finish.
Hey guys, let's see here. I'm lost here. There it is. All right. Hey guys, is it okay if I showcase the guy I think I'm gonna go with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In NASCAR.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Let us know.
from what I know, this guy's like the top notch. So I'm gonna just whip him up there and
I already know what's coming up.
Let me know.
Las Vegas victory lane for Fox Television. Ricky Bobby, today's big winner.
Is this the guy?
Today, but it seems as if you either win or crash the car trying to win.
Because this is the kind of
He's no
attitude I'm
joke.
looking for.
This is the best interview of all time.
Excellence, and nobody can hang with my stuff. I'm just a big, hairy American winning machine. If you ain't first, you're last. You know what I'm talking about? That phrase, trademark, not to use the other position, Ricky Bobby.
I wake up his
right?
excellence.
That's all, guys. What do you think? Is that a good pick or
No, Blake, I think that's unfair.
I mean, no. Set me straight. This guy doesn't drive no more. Well, I don't know.
No, Blaze, I think it's unfair to pick the legendary Ricky Bobby. I think it's unfair. If you ain't first, you're last. The guy pisses excellence, fights cougars and shit. Totally unfair. I think you have to switch. You have to pick somebody else.
What would you
Donnie,
what would
your
you say
opinion.
is a better NASCAR, Talladega Nights or Days of Thunder?
Okay, look, for a serious question. Okay, Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Comedy. You know what I mean? You're waiting for something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, if we're talking race car movies, that movie was badass. You know what I'm saying? For me, when I watched it, you know. So,
I would have to say Days of Thunder. I would have to. Talladega Nights is a very good movie. Very, very good movie. But I think Days of Thunder, like what a lot of people don't realize, which
I think I lost.
I can let them know, is it was filmed during a live race. You know what I mean? A lot of that filming was done during live race. One of the actors won the pole during one of these races they filmed. You know, that movie was the real deal. And NASCAR drivers were pissed, you know, that they had a bunch of these actors running the thing.
Sure
so I'd say Days of Thunder.
I'm sure you saw they had like a thing on FS1, like a show on FS1 on how they made that video. Not the video, the movie. And it was pretty wild. Like you said, they actually were Daytona 500. It was a legit, like you said, they had to build Hendrick had to build all the cars, built them all. He had, he built a shitload of them because a lot of them they crashed on purpose for the film, you know.
Right.
It was pretty neat. I mean, I still, that's my favorite movie of all time. So obviously there's no question, you know. When you ask
just
Daytona,
classic.
Talladega Nights or Days of Thunder, yeah, it's a classic, no doubt. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, it's where their love affair began. Was back then.
Yeah, no, definitely a classic movie. I mean, that's one of those, like, you know what they're doing a lot now, which you obviously know, is that they're like remaking movies. Like you see that they're remaking a lot of kids movies and doing like a lot of remakes on like old school movies. That would be a movie that. Yeah, it'd be one of those like halfway. Like, I would love to see them make a remake to that movie, but at the same time, it's such a classic. To leave it alone. So,
we go. Little.
Okay, I'm gonna pull this rookie's chain. Cole, you're wandering all over the track.
Yeah, well, the son of a bitch just slammed into me.
No, he didn't slam into you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing. There goes a fender. There goes a quarter pan.
Hey, that's where the rowdy began with that movie.
All right. Well, we're still under a caution.
One funny thing that
hit the pace car. Hit the pace car.
They had producers on, and they talk about how and Richard Childress is so pissed. He's like, I'm just mad that they put a fat guy playing me in a movie. He was all pissed off. Oh, goddamn, they made a fat guy playing me in a
the whole reason they call Kyle calls himself Rowdy Bush is from that movie. When he first came into the truck series as a kid, he drove the 51 truck. It was a black truck, and obviously he was an aggressive driver, kind of like Rowdy Burns was in the movie, and that's how the whole Rowdy thing began. And he kind of ended up making his own. Yeah, he ended up making his own energy drinks and everything. Called him Rowdy. So.
Yeah. Which the Rowdies are good.
Oh hell yeah, they are. And and they're keto friendly, which your father-in-law Jerry, he's all about the
keto friendly.
Yeah,
I know. He came one day and he stole all my good. I should say I shouldn't say he stole. I gave them to him when he asked me the first time. I gave him a few of the keto friendly ones because some of the flavors have sugar and all that shit, but there's some of the flavors. But Rowdy, I for a few months I was ordering the cases because they're so much healthier for you than the Monsters and the Red Bulls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Blaze is letting us go over. He's going to let us go over another 15 minutes or so. So we're going to have some more time. There's a few more things. I mean, this has just been like a kind of whirlwind show, just running with it, which I'm cool with. 100% cool with. We're getting the feel for one another. That way, when we go forward on the show and we have some guests and all that, we're trying to get the morale high. We're trying to get the connection as co-hosts whenever you're on all the time. I'm trying to get that connection going good. That way we have good shows going forward. Which it's funny because Fred's actually texting me right now.
Yeah, same here. He's upset.
Can't comment.
He's wanting to comment. Yeah. I know. He ought to just send us a text with his questions. We can answer them on air.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him right there. You texted him back?
Yeah.
Yeah, let him know if he wants to comment. If he wants to comment in or text you his questions or anything like that. But and
question: what would be? What's that?
I was just gonna say while Blaze has the picture up, you know Jesse Awuji in the Truck Series.
Yes. Yeah.
He's a veteran driver. He's in the Navy.
That's him, right?
Yep, that's one of those guys. I had to put it. I sent the picture. Yeah. I forgot that I even sent Blaze that picture. Races in the Truck Series, and he's I think he's still active. Like he's like a reserve for the Navy or something like that. Races in the Truck Series. So good person to shout out on a day like today, Veterans Day, and obviously on the side draft, he's driving in the Truck Series and he's fighting for our freedom. What a good and he was. I think he was a DB. Playing college ball too, so this dude is not only like an athlete, but obviously serviceman, truck driver. Can't beat that. It's like the trifecta.
Yeah. Oh, multitasker. You can do it all.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
An athlete, which some drivers are athletes too. Believe it or not, he played in like the Little League World Series. So he must have been a pretty good baseball player.
Yeah, he did. They actually showed that. They showed that during the Little League World Series. But since you just said that, Donnie, because you just threw another thing in my brain, the I Am Athlete podcast with Brandon Marshall. Used to be Brandon Marshall, Fred Taylor, and Ocho Cinco. They started doing an I Am NASCAR series where the first guest was Dale Earnhardt Jr. They had Haley Deegan. They had a few people. Fred says the best racing TV show was Stroker Ace. Best racing TV show was Stroker Ace. So Blaze, if you hear that, pull up because I've never heard of that TV show. Stroker Ace. I'll send that to you in the comments, Blaze. See if you can find some. This is Fred saying this, so this has to be good. TV.
Oh, Stroker Ace. That's another Burt Reynolds movie, I think.
Is it? I never heard of that one. But goddamn Richard Petty. Oh no! Oh yeah. Gee, this is how did they survive crashes like this back in the day, dude? Oh my god, this is unbelievable. That was the end. Well, not because of the crash, but that was the end of Petty's career because after they started adding rules and shit to the Cup Series, he couldn't do shit. He was a bum. He's lucky he already had that King title before they started doing all that shit. This must be like top 5 crashes or something. Let's see that.
I think that's one thing we agree on with Petty.
Whoa!
I think he.
Yeah, it was trash. Absolute trash.
Was that Petty?
Yeah, Petty, just trash. You know what I mean? Like he was good for his time.
Yeah.
But then like you just watch him racing like 89, 90, 91. That dude was a bum, absolute bum. You know what I mean? Whoa, holy shit.
Yeah, that's one thing we could agree on. I think Petty, he was a cheater. I think he was cheating back then with the cars, you know what I mean? And he was getting away with it. When they, like you said, they weren't checking shit. They didn't have all the rules they have now.
No rules.
And he got away with it, you know?
Oh, that's fun.
Wait, so it wasn't cheating. I mean,
No.
if they didn't have, but for real, right? If they didn't have that implemented in what you can and cannot do in NASCAR,
Yeah.
that's not cheating. So then they look at it and say, all right, well, this fucker is, kicking ass with what he's modifying. So it's either we're not going to allow it or we'll allow other drivers to do it. That's all I got to say there.
Yeah, that's the thing. To piggyback off what Blaze just said, that's literally the thing. That's the reason why a lot of people don't consider Richard Petty the king, because he did it in an era when you could do whatever you wanted. You know what I mean? And then when they started adding restrictions to the car, it's not like he was good or average. He was trash. He was absolute trash. You know what I mean? It's not even like he was like, the competition got better, so I just dropped down. Like they consider like tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 drivers. He went from tier 1, like to the trash bin. The dude was trash. Like
it's kind of like what's going to happen to you, Justin, when you come go-karting with us. You know, you sent me the pictures of you at the top of the charts. After you start racing with me, Colby, my brother, and Jeremy, you're going to be at the bottom of the list, dude. You're not going to be able to compete. I think you're in for a reality check, like Richard Petty was when he, started actually have to go by rules.
Play the video.
Since folks could remember, Stroker Ace did only one thing: second place. Now he's the best there is.
Lean out a little bit further.
There he is. Burt Reynolds.
And if you don't know why, well, just ask him.
It's part of the wonderfulness of me.
He's a sporting man.
You either crash or win. And I like that.
A ladies' man.
That's like every NASCAR motor,
Just
team owner back in the day.
Just put that right off of there.
I think this is who Freddie idolized himself.
Why don't you drive a Clyde Torkel chicken pit special? The fastest chicken in the South.
You think it's easy driving chicken feet? I've done some dumb things in my life.
This is so stupid.
I want you.
This summer, Burt Reynolds is Stroker Ace. And it's going to take Ned Beatty, Jim Neighbors, Parker Stevenson, Bubba Smith, and Lonnie Anderson to put him in his place.
Easy.
That's why Fred likes this show. Is that why Fred likes this show?
Yeah, I think Freddie modeled himself after Stroker Ace. I think Freddie's like the Stroker Ace of Seekonk Speedway back in the day, you know.
I'd watch that TV show. It actually looks like it'd be pretty
You
funny.
said Stroker.
Yeah, it does actually.
Freaking Blaze. Man, you having fun or what? I loved.
Who would
Go ahead.
No, I got the video got screwed up there for a bit.
Yeah,
I was gonna say who's your early pick? Way as they say on the internet, the way too early pick to be the 2023 champion.
okay,
NASCAR.
I will say this. Yeah, you're gonna tell. I already know what you're gonna say to me after I say this, but I have very good explanation as to why. Okay, I believe the front runner is. I think it's Blaney. I really do. I think this year did two things for him. It showed him how dominant he could be. And I say dominant, which obviously because you and I know, for the people who are listening, he didn't win a race. But as far as a non-winner, the best one out of anybody who hasn't won a race. I'd say Blaney. He had very good equipment this year. I hope next year, because he's another one of those guys, like you say, like Chase Elliott, is kind of cool, calm, collected, just says the right things. I think next year that you're going to see that shift a little bit with him. I think you're going to see him be a little more vocal. I think he's going to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And obviously, as long as his equipment stays consistent like it did this year, I think Blaney is going to be the guy to beat. I really, really do. And I say this completely unbiased. That's just my opinion. How about you?
I think Blaney is going to be the same way he has his whole career. He's going to be consistent, and he's not going to be able to win races. He might win one or two, but that's been the problem for him for years.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago, I think he was in the round of 8, and he literally had like top 10s in all 3 races, and he didn't advance because he didn't have enough bonus points. And the reason he didn't have enough bonus points is because he didn't win any stages throughout the year. He didn't win races. He's a good driver. I'm not knocking him. I just think he's got to find that little bit extra somehow. I don't know what he's missing.
And I think that little bit extra is within him personally. I don't think it's his equipment. I don't think it's his team. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I can't think of who he has for a crew chief at the moment. I know Paul Wolf is with Logano. I don't know who Blaney's crew chief is right now, but
let me see if I can.
Like you said, he's on a good team. He's probably got equal equipment to Logano. Cindric's a little off the pace, but he was a rookie. But no, I don't think it's a bad prediction. I mean, the guy got in the playoffs without winning a race and got down to the final 8. He even admitted those last couple races it was his own screw up. He driver error coming out of the pits. He downshifted instead of upshifted, and then I think another track. I think he just got in the fence driving it too hard. So
like I said, if he needs to be a little bit more aggressive, and he needs to be a little bit more. I wouldn't say. I think the only thing you get out of being vocal is you get respected maybe a little bit more. Depends on how you take your vote. How you take your how vocal you are, or really how you push your limits. But I think that's the two things, and it's both edges he's going to get is within him personally. He needs to be more aggressive on the track. That's just point blank period. There's sometimes you watch him and you're like, dude, really? Like, it's kind of just boring. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, I think if his equipment stays consistent, I don't know. You're going to tell me I'm biased anyways.
I'm not saying you're biased. I mean,
It's
know
funny
that's who
that
you
you
root
said that
for.
about Blaney, though, because like a lot of driver error, and it's kind of his own fault. Because when we go kart racing, you know what I mean? You guys are gonna be so headstrong, and we're the best at this and the best at that, and you guys are gonna be fucking all up. And me, I'm just gonna go through the motions, dude, and I'm gonna blow all your doors off, and you guys ain't
Okay.
gonna have shit to say.
All right. We're gonna have to bring the cameras to the track.
I only have a couple more weeks till Thanksgiving, Donnie.
Well,
we got to make this happen.
I know. I've been trying to put something together with the guys, and I'll get in touch with you during the week, and we're gonna get something very soon within the next couple weeks because I want to make it happen before Turkey Day.
Yeah, absolutely.
After Turkey Day, I'm gonna probably weigh like 10 pounds more, and that's gonna slow my card up. So.
Oh, so yeah. So now you're just coming up with excuses. You know what I mean? I mean, tons of excuses.
No excuses. I'll be ready. I'll be fast no matter what.
We're not women, right? So I'm gonna ask you, how much do you weigh?
I weigh 195.
So I got more weight on you. I got more weight on Jeremy. More weight than Colby. So stop talking about your freaking weight. Oh, I need to do it before Thanksgiving. I got more weight than all you guys, and I'm gonna make you guys look like a bunch of chumps.
The weight might help.
What are you gonna say? Huh?
I think you're in for a reality check. That's
okay.
all I'm gonna say. I think I don't know. I'll say this: if you can put up equal lap times to us, I'll be impressed. I will be impressed.
If I can do what? Say that again.
If you can put up equal lap times, and obviously which kart you has makes a big difference.
Yeah, that's why you got to go and you can't just do one race.
Yeah, you got to go and at least do 3-4 races because sometimes I'll get a kart and then the next kart I get is like on my lap times are like a whole second slower and I didn't change anything. It's just the kart is junk. So you gotta.
You sound like real Kyle Busch right now coming over the radio. My car's junk. My crew's junk. Saying all sorts of stuff.
Hey, it makes a big difference, No,
it does. You are right.
Yeah, we're gonna have a blast. It'll be a good time. Yeah. So get your helmet ready.
Yeah. Well, now that we got our shit talking out of the way, I do appreciate Blaze letting us go over a little bit because we to be honest, like I said to Donnie before we started, I even said it to Blaze too. I just kind of wanted to roll with it. Today was one of those days for me that I kind of just chilled. I didn't want to do shit today. I chilled, hung out with the family, with the kids. So I'm like, you know what? Tonight's show, like I know I told you, Donnie, I just wanted to kind of roll with it. We were going to talk about Phoenix. We were going to do awesome. But the rest of the show, and I'm sorry if the viewers didn't like it. I just personally today, I was just out of it. Says, you know what? I'm not doing anything crazy to prep. I'm not taking notes. I have 0 notes. I just kind of want to roll with it, have a good time.
We had a good show. I enjoyed it. Thank you for having me on again.
Yeah.
Obviously, it gets tougher when the season ends. You run out of things to talk about. So we'll figure it out. We'll make it work as we go along.
Yeah. No, I definitely have. I have a few things lined up. Which Donnie, you're obviously going to be. You and Blaze are going to be the first 2 to know about it. Because, like I said, I want you to. I know we text each other at least a few times throughout the week. So obviously you're going to be in tune with all that. I think
it's safe to say that Donnie's your co-host when he can make the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So like I have I really don't want to butcher his last name, but Josh Baddock, he was a rookie this year at Seekonk Speedway, which I follow him, his JB Racing stuff, and kid's really cool. He's a mechanic. Kid works really hard. Then you have like Hendrickson, which is another guy that I've been chatting with that wants to come on the show. Obviously, Colby, Jeremy, they've just been crazy busy, but they're going to find time to come on. Ethan Souza, which I'm repping his stuff today because me and him chatted a few times back and forth, and he's a huge supporter of this show. So we have guys lined up, and I think
Ethan's a great kid. He's already kicked my ass on the RC track a couple times now. He's a good RC racer, good racer out on the speedway, good kid. So he'll be good on the show.
He messaged me after Fred's show and he goes, "So I hear that you're coming RC racing," and I says, "Hell yeah!" And he was like, "Oh, I'm pumped." and I tell me and Donnie are gonna go, and then Fred and his buddies there, and we're gonna have a good time. So Ethan was pumped about that too. So
it's tough. I'll tell you, it's tougher. RC racing is tougher than real racing, as far as I'm concerned. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, Donnie, we went over Blaze. I thank you very much, buddy, because you let us go over a few extra minutes. I appreciate everybody who tuned in, who watched, share, comment, like the show. Remember, we have T-shirts, which I'm gonna start making more posts on Facebook and all this kind of stuff on FFN Radio Network and the Side Draft, showing you guys our T-shirts. I'm gonna obviously watch for our other shows we have, the Neutral Corner, the Blaze and Miss Tammy show, or as Jerry calls it, the Miss Tammy and Blaze show. I think he says it just to piss Blaze off. The Rabbit Hole, which I actually jumped in on the Rabbit Hole for a few minutes the other day. So guys, I really appreciate. Here's Ethan. Good show, guys. Hope to see you. We'll be there. And Jerry says hello,
Absolutely.
guys. So like I said, Donnie, I appreciate you being on again, buddy. You'll obviously know everything about next week's show. Anytime you have time, you just let me know. You don't even have to ask. Just let me know. I'm on, and we're gonna have a spot here for you. So I appreciate you coming on today, buddy. Happy Veterans Day to everybody.
And happy birthday to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the big 30 for Ethan.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you caught that part of the show, but I wore the show today because I turned 30. So thank you, Ethan. And plus, it gave me a shot. I walked around 4 of it today during the parade, rocking an Ethan Souza T-shirt. So
nice.
Like I said, we won't keep any more time. Let's see here. Okay, we won't keep you guys any more time. But like I said,
thanks. Thanks again for having me on. Hope to see you at the RC track on one of these Wednesdays, and then obviously the go-kart track. I think Ethan's going to join us for the go-karts too. He'll probably kick all our asses.
It's just more competition. It's just more people for me to throw behind me. You know what I mean? So like, it's one of those things. Like the more people that go, the more guys I can put between me and you, and Colby, and the ones that are doing a lot of the real shit talking. You know what I mean? So the more people we have go, it just the worse it is for you, the better it is for me.
I'll be taking pictures, and at the end of the night, we're gonna see who has the fastest lap time, me or you, and then we're gonna post it. We're gonna have Blaze post it.
I'm gonna use a fake name. So I'm only gonna know. I'm only gonna know which name is mine up there. You guys are gonna be looking for my name. It ain't up there. I'm gonna use a fake name so I can say if I do good, it shows me up there, and I say, "Look, I kicked their ass." And if you see my name on there, you won't even know it. So, but yeah. So, Blaze, I'm sorry, buddy. He keeps telling me, "Listen, we're going over." So we'll close it out now. We'll make this short, sweet. Donnie, thank you very much. Guys who commented in and show your support every week, thank you very much. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans out there, past, present, you name it, our family members, NASCAR, good job at supporting our veterans and our service members. So with that being said, we're out. We will see you guys next week. Thank you very much.
This win's gonna punch his ticket to the championship 4.
It can put a Rolex on a redneck. It can put some inches on your big black Chevy.